name is Ollie Batts, and I'm Senior Instructor and founder of Cambridge Academy of Martial Arts here in Cambridge, UK.
And why are we all here today?
We're here to see Maul Mornie, SSBD, Silat, and it's a progression for us. It's a new venture, really, in a way. We've only been involved for a few years, and we're trying to help promote SSBD in the UK.
What is SSBD and how did you come to find it?
The term SSBD is Silat, Suffian, Bela, Diri. I think you probably should need to ask Maul exactly what it translates to in English, but we were really struck by his videos that were appearing online, and it just looked like a fresh breath of fresh air in the martial arts industry that, to me, was in some areas was becoming a little bit stagnant, and it was a new challenge for us to take this on.
How long has CAMA been around?
Cambridge Academy of Martial Arts, we set up in July 1989. So it's 29 years now. I think next year will be our 30th year.
And what sort of martial arts do you cover under your umbrella?
Initially, we started out with JKD, Kali Silat, having had a background in traditional Korean martial arts. So we started doing seminars, inviting people to do seminars for us. And that was, as we gained more and more training material and information, we were able to expand on that and then specifically follow the Korean the Filipino martial arts for a number of years until now, the present time, we're still involved in the Filipino martial arts.
Also noticed on your website that you train Savate and box française in Cannes.
We got involved in Savate initially. I'd always had an interest in Savate because it's a European art, and I'm one of these guys who likes to support the underdog, if you like, things that are not quite so well known. Having said that, in France this year, I think they had 56,000 licenses issued to Savate. In this country, just a few hundred. And we were really interested in the idea of Savate, and we started out with Salim Asli. And Salim Asli was a guy who had gone over to America to train specifically in JKD and Kali with Dan Inosanto. And so we were introduced to Salim. Salim came to Cambridge, and that was where the Savate started from. We started doing seminars with him and with other people for other arts.
So there's a nice melange of arts. Lots of schools have one art and they stick to it. How do you find that journey of combining all those arts? Do you find some fall by the wayside?
Well, we don't really look at it as being a conglomerate mix, a mess, a mix mash. We actually, when we're involved in the Filipino martial arts, for example, we promote the Filipino martial arts. That's the training that we do. Initially, we're training 5 nights a week, and we would specifically do Savate on 2 of those nights, so we wouldn't be mixing the Savate in with anything else. We would be doing, if we were doing a Sambo class, Sambo grappling class, we would be doing that for an hour on a Monday and a Friday, for example. So we were not so much mixing stuff in and making it like a bit of a mess, if you like. It's like playing tennis one night and badminton on another night. You don't try and mix the two necessarily. Having said that, martial arts, there's a lot of common ground in some arts, and there'll be an overlap. And so where there's an overlap, where they complement one another, then that becomes the JKD kind of process, the Jeet Kune Do approach, where you're combining arts that are complementary, not fitting together. So we're really involved in arts that if you're using a weapon, your hands are up. If you're boxing or Savate, your hands are up, etc., etc.
And where do you see Cambridge Academy of Martial Arts going in the next 10 years?
Well, as I get older, I'm more reliant on my younger members of staff, shall we call them, unpaid members of staff, and I'd like to think that we continue to expand. I'd like to think that we're still very involved with the SSBD, especially with Maul Mornie, because I'll repeat, I mean, he's been a breath of fresh air, I think, to the martial arts generally. It's quite exciting to see him for the first time when we first went to one of his seminars, and then we invited him after a couple of seminars to come to Cambridge. He's been here only about 3 times so far, but each time it's been a new learning experience and also you know, building on what we've had before with him.
How do you combine competitive and the esoteric martial arts?
We obviously train for the competitive martial arts alongside of the more esoteric martial arts, or the arts that relate directly to self-defense, for example, the techniques that relate to self-defense training. The combat side of things, the competitive side of martial arts, we've had people compete in judo, we've had people compete in specifically sambo wrestling, which is a Russian system. One year we had one of our guys became British champion over in, I think that happened in Bedford one year. Tarquin Bennett-Coles became British champion. We've had lots of people compete in French cane fighting, canter combat. Not to win medals, the competition is very, very strong in that. In Savate, we've had people compete and have come away with medals, with gold medals in you know, national competition, but also have done quite well considering the numbers of opposition abroad. We've done relatively well in internationals as well. I've got a young girl training with us at the moment who's been with us for 18 years now, and she's fighting for the European Championship next month in France, in Paris, against the French champion. So that will be the end of next month, and we're keeping our fingers crossed that I've trained her hard enough. I would say that the future is looking bright for CAMA, and I want to push it in the direction of making it become stronger, but not just like a Mickey Mouse or a, you know, McDojo, as I think is the phrase some people use. We want good quality martial art training, and what we teach, we try to follow the best people and include ourselves with the best people, hence being involved with Master Maul Mornie.